children, I welcome you back to again our geography session. Okay. So, yesterday we have seen lesson number 1, the earth in the solar system. We have learned some topics, right. So, the topics which yesterday we have learned were celestial bodies, okay, phases of the moon, constellation, solar system. So, I have explained you yesterday about these celestial bodies. All these shining objects that you see in the sky at the night are called the celestial bodies. Like example, you can see a moon, stars, asteroids, meteoroids, planets. All these are called our celestial bodies. The bodies that shines at night. Then we have seen some features of the celestial bodies, that these are the shining objects which you find in the sky at night. Again, they are very big and hot, while some are very small. They are made up of gases. They have their own heat and light. For example, sun. Sun is the biggest star, you know children, okay, that emits a large number of heat, huge number of heat and light. Then we do not feel the heat of the stars. Why? Yesterday I have explained. Come on, tell the answer. Yes, we do not feel the heat of the stars because they are so tiny and they are very far away from us. Okay. Then we cannot see the moon and the stars on a daytime, right? We cannot see, though they are present, moon and the stars are present on the daytime, but we cannot see them because of the bright light of the sun that does not allow us to see the moon and the stars. And one more important thing I have told you about the astronomers. So, who are these astronomers? These astronomers are the persons who study about these celestial bodies and their movements. Okay. So, who are astronomers? The persons who study about the celestial bodies and their movements are called astronomers. And one example is Aryabhatta, who was the famous astronomer of ancient India. Then yesterday children, I have explained you about moon, why Purnima and Amavasya occurs once in a month. This is because of the changes of the position of the moon. So, why moon changes its phases, why moon has different stages, that also I have explained. That is because of the structure of the moon changes because of the orbit it moves around the earth. Okay. Yesterday I have explained you about like this moon, this is star, this is earth, and the moon it orbits around the earth, and this path around which it goes revolves around the earth. This path is called the orbit. Okay. And it is the orbits are elongated in shape. So, because of this orbits that the moon revolves around the sun, it has 8 phases or different phases, and I have explained you about and this moon, it takes a month or 29.5 days to orbit around the earth. Again, I have explained you about the 8 stages of the moon, that are, first one we call this at new moon, second one waxing crescent. New moon is also called as dark moon or Amavasya. Here we cannot see any moon because it is very close to the sun, it is in conjunction with the sun, and because of this the shadow faces to the earth, and that is why we cannot see the face of the moon. So, here we will call it as new moon or Amavasya or dark moon. Again, the second phase I have told you, it is about waxing crescent. Waxing means increase in the size of the moon. So, now we can see only this much part of the moon, that is in the shape of boat or banana. Again, the third stage is the first quarter. Here we can see half part. Okay. Half part of the moon is lit by the sun and half is not lit. So, from earth we can see only that's only half part of the moon, and that is called as the first quarter. Again, fourth stage I have told you about waxing gibbous. Waxing means more increase in size, and gibbous means more than half, that is 3/4 of the moon is visible from the earth. So, it is called as waxing gibbous. And finally, now the moon is coming, now the shape of the moon is changing towards the full moon or Purnima, which comes once in a month. So, here the moon, it is near to the earth, and so that is why we can see full moon, and it is also called as Purnima or full moon night. Again, after this, now after these 5 stages the moon of the size of the moon starts on decreasing or reducing. So, the next stage is called as waning stage, waning gibbous here. Now, 3/4 we can see and 1/4 part we cannot see. Again afterwards it comes the third quarter where it is exactly opposite of first quarter. So, here half part of the moon we can see and half part is not visible. Now, here comes the last stage of the moon, that is called a waning crescent. Here again we can see only the shape like banana or boat of the moon, and afterwards what happens after this stage, the moon gets completely invisible, and that is called as, we will call it as new moon night. So, these were the 8 phases of the moon, which yesterday I have explained you very properly by showing this activity also, and yesterday I have told you to do this activity. Hope children you must have done, and if you have not done, you can do it today also by using some colors or pencils, sketch pens, or by using some papers like plastic plates which we have, okay, paper plates which we eat. From that papers also you can make different shapes of the moon, and you can draw this 8 phases of the moon. This is the activity which I have shown you yesterday. Then we have gone to constellations. What were the what do you mean by constellations? Yes, constellation means various patterns formed by the group of the stars. So, there are some examples also I have told you, like first of all first example which I have told you was the Orion. So, this is the shape of the hunter. Again next example I have shown you about Ursa Major, that is 7 stars, it is also called as a Big Bear or Big Dipper. Okay. And this handle I have explained you, handle of the dipper is called as a Great Bear's tail, and the cup is called the bear's flank or side of the animal's body. Again we have seen Ursa Minor or Saptarishi, it is the 7 stars or 7 rishis, and we have explained about the names of the 7 rishis also. Then, and from here if you draw an imaginary line like this, we can identify the pole star. Okay, like here how this girl, see how she is imagining a line from this cup of this Saptarishi of this Ursa Minor, and she is locating the pole star. Okay. So, what is the importance of this pole star? In the ancient times, people could not determine the direction of the direction at the night. So, they used to locate this pole star, and through this pole star they used to locate where actually the which direction it is. Is it north, south, east or west? And this pole star, it always remains in the same position in the sky. Next one we have seen about the solar system. We have seen about these 8 planets. We have seen the features of these 8 planets, what is solar system, and why the sun is called the head of the family, and what it consists of. Then we have seen about the planets, different types of planets, and we have seen the importance of each planet. And one important line I have told you, my very efficient mother just served us nuts, means this is a line by which you can remember our names of our 8 planets, that is Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. And again I have explained you about the 2 types of planets, inner and outer. So, the planets which are very close, 4 planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, these are the 4 planets which are near to the sun. So, they are called as inner planets, and the rest other 4 planets which are far away from the sun, and they are huge planets made up of gases and liquids, they are called the outer planets. So, this was just the summary of yesterday whatever we have learned. Now, next we will go to the next topic, that is Earth, children. Now, Earth you know, okay, every one of you know about Earth, the planet on which we live is called the Earth. So, it is the 3rd nearest planet to the sun in the solar system. Okay, children, this is Earth. It is a beautiful planet, okay, in the cosmos. So, this is the 3rd nearest planet in the solar system, and it is the 5th largest planet, children. Okay, sequence wise largest number, it is the 5th in largest planet in the solar system. Now, as I have told you, this Earth, it is flattened at the poles. Okay, these are the 2 poles. So it is flat, it is little bit, see this earth here also, it is little bit flat here, okay, these two sides, and these two sides of the earth is just little flat, and these two sides are called as, this is called as north pole and this is called as south pole. They are little flat and from center it bulges, means it just increases in size. From here it increases in size, like here you can see, okay. These are the two poles, north pole and here it is south pole, and from this the center it bulges or it increases. So it is also called as geoid because this earth like structure, okay. Then conditions favorable to support our life are found only on earth. You know, life is sustainable only on earth because whatever conditions we need, like proper, we need air, water, food, winds, storms, days, nights, everything, gases, oxygen, whatever we need for our life, life is sustainable only on this planet, that is earth. Because why? It is neither too hot, okay. Earth is neither too hot nor too cold. It has water, air that are very, very essential for our life. Again, in the starting also I have told you why it is called a unique planet, because of all these conditions that are favorable on the earth, it is called as a unique planet. And it appears blue because 2/3 surface is covered with water, okay. See, on this earth you can see this blue color. So this blue color is nothing but the waters, oceans, seas, okay. So full 2/3 part of this earth is covered with water. So it is also called as a blue planet. Then again, the light of the sun, okay, it takes 8 minutes to reach the earth. Within 8 minutes we can get the light of the sun. So the light of the sun, it passes so fast, it travels so fast that it takes only 8 minutes to reach the earth. Then this light travels at the speed of 3 lakh kilometer per second, okay. Per second, each second it travels at the speed of 3 lakh kilometers. So this was few important facts that I have told you about our planet Earth. Now moon, previously also we have seen about the moon, okay. We have seen about the 8 phases of the moon. This moon, it takes 1 month to revolve around the earth on its orbit. So now we will see some more features of this moon, children. See this moon, how beautiful it is looking, and it is always attracting us, right. Every time the human beings are so much attracted towards the moon. So this earth has only one satellite, that is the moon. So we, our planet earth, it has only one satellite, and that is the moon. This moon, it revolves around our planet earth. So what do you mean by satellite, children? Satellite means a body that moves around the planet in the same way as planet moves around the sun. So like how planets move around the sun, all the 8 planets, how they move around the sun, in the same way even this moon, it revolves around the earth. There are some satellites which are human made and which are there are human made satellites also, and there are natural satellites also. Example, this moon is our natural satellite, but some human made satellites are there which are made by the humans. And why these satellites are made? They are made to gather the information, to collect the information about different countries of the world or even of the universe, for communicating with each other, okay. So for example, INSAT or Sputnik, etc. are few examples of human made satellites. So why human has made these satellites, children? Because we want to gather information what is happening around the world, what is happening in other countries, what is happening in the universe, what is happening in the space. So to gather such informations, to gather such informations and knowledge, we have made some human made satellites, and example is INSAT and Sputnik. Again, the moon appears so big as it is very near to the earth than other bodies. Means the moon, it is the satellite of the earth, and because it is this moon, it is very near to the earth, so it appears very big in size. It is about 3,84,400 kilometers away from us. So what is the distance? It is about 3,84,400 kilometers away from the earth. It moves around the earth in about 27 days, means it takes near about 27 days or 27 to it takes near about 1 month to revolve around the earth, and same day same time it takes to complete one spin. So, conditions are not favorable for life, the conditions are not suitable for life to on the moon. It has mountains. See what things the moon has, children. Okay, we are so much excited to know more about the moon, right? So, it has mountains, okay, it has plains, it has depressions, depressions means holes, puddles. So, it has mountains, plains, depressions on its surfaces. Then come and tell me, who was the first man to step on the moon? Yes, it was Neil Armstrong. Okay, Neil Armstrong was the first man who stepped on the moon on 29 July 1960. Neil Armstrong was the first man who stepped on the moon on 29 July 1960. Again, one more first Indian. Who was the first Indian? Yes, it was Rakesh Sharma, who was the first Indian to land on the moon. So, this is what we have learned about moon today, children. Now, we will see about asteroids. Okay, the picture itself, how it looks, how the picture is looking like. Is it looking like a rock? Yes, the picture is looking like a rock. So, these are called as asteroids, which we can find in the solar system. So, what are these asteroids? These asteroids are small rocky substance. Okay, they are rocks which are more irregular in shape. They are not, their shape is very irregular, and they move around the sun apart from the stars, planets and satellites. Now, as you know, stars, planets and satellites, they all revolve around the sun. So, same like this, even the asteroids, they revolve around, they move around the sun. So, these bodies are called as asteroids, and they are much smaller in size compared to planets, means they are even smaller than the planets, and they are found between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. So, where are these asteroids found? These asteroids are found between the Mars and Jupiter. Okay. Then the largest asteroid is called as Ceres. So, and according to the scientists, asteroids are the parts of planet which exploded many years back. So, these were some of the images or some facts that I have told you about asteroids. Now, we will come to meteoroids. Okay. So, meteoroids, what are meteoroids? They are same like asteroids only, but these meteoroids are the lumps of rocks. They are the lumps, small lumps of rocks or iron found in the outer space. This is the earth, this is the space. So, here outer space we can found the meteoroids. They are the lumps of rocks made of iron. They are significantly smaller than asteroids. Just now we have seen the these asteroids. So, these meteoroids are even smaller than these asteroids, but the sizes may, and the size of these asteroids, it may range from a small grain to 1 meter wide objects. Okay. What is the size of this asteroids? It may range from a small grain to 1 meter wide objects. They too orbit the sun like planets, like how planets, satellites, stars, they move around the sun. Same way, even these meteoroids, they revolve around the sun, and most of these meteoroids, they are made up of silica and oxygen. Okay, they have oxygen and silica in them, and they are and heavier metals like nickel and iron. So, metals like silica, oxygen and nickel and iron, they are found in these meteoroids. So, hope you understood what are meteoroids. They are the lumps of rocks or iron that is found in the outer space. Okay, children, now we will come to galaxy and Milky Way. So, this Milky Way, what is this Milky Way? You must have heard the word Akash Ganga, right? In Hindi we call this Akash Ganga. Akash means sky and Ganga means river, combination of river and sky. So, it is in English we will call it as a Milky Way. So, what is this Milky Way, children? See, this is a cluster of stars. Can you see? Millions of stars are found here. So, Milky Way means our sun, stars and all the planets around it are a part of galaxy known as a Milky Way. So Milky Way is a one part of a galaxy. Galaxy has different thousands of there is no one galaxy, there are different types of galaxies. So among them one galaxy's name is Milky Way, which belongs to us, okay, our solar system. So the galaxy which we belong, it is called as a Milky Way. So here in this galaxy we have our suns, stars and the planets that move around it. They all are a part of a galaxy known as Milky Way. So it is spiral in shape, see the shape, okay, it is spiral in shape, and all the stars seen in the night sky are in our Milky Way galaxy, okay. Whichever stars we see at night in the sky, they all belong to our Milky Way galaxy. Why it is called as Milky Way? Because it appears as a milky band of light in the sky. You see children this picture, is it not appearing like a milky band? White, full white, so that is why it is called as a milky band of light in the sky, or we also call this Akash Ganga. So this is one galaxy to which we belong, and there are many more galaxies. Now we will see this picture, okay. This is a picture of a huge galaxy. So galaxy, what do you mean by galaxy? Galaxy, it is a large group of stars, gas, dust bound together by the gravity. So this galaxies, it contains a large millions of groups of stars. It also has gas in it and dust bounded by a gravity force. They come in variety of shapes and sizes, okay. These galaxies, they are in different shapes and sizes. And for one example of this galaxy is the Milky Way. Milky Way is one part of this galaxy to which we belong. So hope you understood what is Milky Way and what is galaxy. Milky Way is a galaxy to which we belong, and like this there are many galaxies in the space, in the universe. And now the last concept is the universe, okay. What is universe? So children, universe, it's a combination of what relation we have. So universe, it's a combination of many galaxies, okay. Many thousand galaxies, it's a combination. Like see children, where do we live? We live on earth, okay. And this earth, it belongs to a solar system, right. And this solar system, it belongs to which galaxy? It belongs to one galaxy called as Milky Way, and this Milky Way galaxy, it belongs to the universe. Understood? So how there is a relation, what is the universe? So universe, it is a combination of all the galaxies. It is a of all the galaxies that are found in the space. So again I will show you with this diagram. This is the universe, okay. This is the combination of many galaxies, and this is the diagram which I am going to explain you again. See, this is the earth, okay. We belong to this earth, and this earth belongs to our solar system, and the solar system our solar system belongs to a galaxy called as Milky Way. Our solar system belongs to a galaxy that is called a Milky Way, and this Milky Way is a part of other galaxies, and all these other galaxies together with our Milky Way forms a big universe, okay. So this is a big universe. So children, this was what we have learned today about the earth in the solar system, right. So just we will recapitulate what we have learned today again. We have learnt about celestial bodies, we have learnt about moon, phases of the moon, then we have learnt about constellations, Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, we have seen about today, we have seen about earth, we have seen about moon. Again I have told you about the asteroids, okay. Asteroids are small rocky substances that are irregular in shape. Again I have told you about the meteoroids. What are meteoroids? They are the lumps of rocks found in the outer space. Then we have seen about galaxies, and we have seen about the Milky Way, and the last concept was universe, okay. So this was the last concept of our lesson, universe. Now children, I would like you to open your book, okay. We will read the book. Just open your textbook, Geography, lesson 1. Name of the lesson is The Earth in the Solar System. Children, is it not wonderful to watch the sky at night after sunset? Yes, it is really amazing, it is really wonderful to watch the sky after night, okay, sorry, at night after the sunset. So, one would first, what do you notice, what will you notice when you are seeing the sky at night? One would first notice one or two bright dots shining in the sky, right? When we just see the sky at night, first of all we will see only one or two stars in the night, but soon you would see the number increasing, okay, you see the number of stars goes on increasing. You cannot count them, right, anymore. Now there are so many stars that it is impossible to count, they are innumerable in numbers. The whole sky is filled with tiny shining objects. Some are very bright, others are dim. It appears as if the sky is studded with diamonds, right? How it looks? It looks like sky, it is filled, it is studded with full of diamonds. So, they all appear to be twinkling, right? But if you look at them carefully, children, okay, what do you will notice? If you look at them carefully, you will notice that some of them do not twinkle as others do, okay. You will notice that they do not twinkle, some stars do not twinkle like others, only few stars are twinkling and some are not. They simply glow without any flicker, just as the moon shines. Means some stars, they only flicker, they just glow without any flicker, they just glow like this, they do not twinkle, they do not flicker, like as how our moon shines at night. So, along with these bright objects, so as you know, all these bright objects, what are they called? They are called the celestial bodies. So, along with these celestial bodies, along with these bright objects, we also see the moon on the most of the days, right? So, it may however appear at different times in different shapes, as I have shown you in our slides also, how the shapes of the moons are changing, right? So, it appears different on different days, it appears at different shapes, at different positions. So, you can see the full moon only once in about a month's time, like Purnima, and we can see a full moon night or Purnima. A fortnight later means after 15 days. After 15 days again we cannot see the full moon at all. Here comes a new moon night or Amavasya. On this day you can watch the night sky best, provided it is a clear night. So, on Amavasya day what happens? As moon is not there, moon is there but we cannot see the moon. So, the night it appears very clear, and we can clear night we can call, and we can see a number of, we can watch the sky at its best on this night at Amavasya. So, do you wonder why can't we see the moon and all these bright objects during a daytime, children? See, even now this daytime also, can we see the moon and the stars? No, but actually they are there, but we cannot see. Why? It is because of the light of the sun, okay. It is because of the bright light of the sun that does not allow us to see these bright objects of the night sky. The sun, the moon and all those bright objects shining in the night sky are called as celestial bodies. So, all these shining objects with sun, moon and the stars, they are called as celestial bodies. Some celestial bodies, they are very big and hot, as we have seen in the slides, the features, okay. They are very big and hot. They are made up of gases. These bodies, they are made up of gases. They have their own heat and light, okay. So, all these celestial bodies, they have their own heat and light which they emit in large amounts, and these celestial bodies are called as stars, okay. So, the stars, they have their own heat and light and they emit in large amounts, and the biggest star is the sun, understood. This sun is called the biggest star. Countless twinkling stars in the night are similar to the sun. So, there are many stars, countless number of stars in the night sky which are similar to the sun, but we do not feel their heat, okay. Why we do not feel the heat of these stars? Because they look so tiny and they are very far away from us, okay. They are very far away from us and they are very tiny, so we cannot see these stars and we cannot feel the heat of these stars. Now next topic is constellation. So you must have noticed that the objects look similar when seen from a distance. Okay, the objects, some objects they look different, similar when seen from a distance. So how small an aeroplane when it is flying at a greater height? Aeroplane, it is so big, children. Okay, aeroplane, it is so big, but from a height it looks very small. At a great height it looks very small. Understood? So while watching the night sky, we may notice various patterns formed at different groups of stars. These are called constellations. Understood? What is constellation? So at night different patterns are formed by the stars and these patterns are called as constellation. Constellation means various patterns formed by the group of the stars. Like example, Ursa Major, or it is also called as a Big Bear, is one such constellation, and it of the most easily recognizable constellation. It is the small bear that is called as Saptarishi, that is 7 sages, a group of 7 stars. This is a figure that forms a part of large Ursa Major constellations. Now if you ask somebody in your family or neighborhood to point out, to show you more stars, planets and constellations in the sky. In ancient times, people used to determine the directions during their journey. Okay. So ancient time, what used to happen, children? In the ancient time, people used to determine the directions during the night with the help of these stars. The North Star, it indicates the north direction. It is also called as the pole star. Okay. So this pole star, it indicates the north direction. It always remains in the same position in the sky. We can locate the position of the pole star with the help of the Saptarishi. Here, can you see this diagram? So with this help of this Saptarishi or Ursa Minor, we can locate the pole star, the direction of the pole star. Okay. So here, look at the figure. You will notice if an imaginary line is drawn joining the pointer stars and extended further, it will point to the pole star. Some celestial bodies do not have their own heat and light. They are lit by the light of the stars. Such bodies are called planets. So what are planets, children? The bodies, the celestial bodies that do not have their own heat and light, they take the light of the stars and these are called as planets. So the word planet comes from the Greek word planetai, which means wonder. Okay, which means wanderers. The earth on which we live is a planet. It gets all its heat and light from the sun, which is our nearest star. If we look at the earth from a great distance, say the moon, it will appear to be shining just as a moon. Understood? So the moon that we see in the sky is a satellite, or it is a companion of our earth and it moves around it. Like earth, there are 8 other planets that gets heat from the sun. So some of them have their moon too. So children, here today I will conclude my lesson. Okay. So again in the next session we will read the textbook and we will have the exercises and question answers of this lesson. So today what homework I have given you? Today I have given you the homework to read the lesson number 1 and do the activity. Children, those who have not done the activity yesterday or in our first session can do it now also, about the face, showing the faces of the moon. Okay, and go through this lesson carefully. We will discuss more details about the lesson in our next session. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.